All right, everybody, I'm so happy to be here with Nezra today, and we are doing a testimonial call because she had some amazing news that she popped up in my email sending me a couple days ago, and I was so happy and so excited for her. And what's that news?
I am getting married, inshallah.
I'm so happy for you. I will tell you this. I woke up about 4:30 in the morning. I don't know what time it was when you sent that, but I woke up about 4:30 in the morning because I was getting ready for my workout. And I was really surprised to see an email from you. And then it was a long email. What is this? And then I read it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I went like right over to go message you. And,
Yes.
first of all, thank you for actually sending in the testimonial because sometimes people forget to do that. So I really appreciate you even taking the time to write a testimonial and to reach out. And I know you wanted to share it with the other women in the program. So I definitely posted it there for you, but thank you so much for
You're welcome.
doing this call, doing a testimonial, and
Yes,
also for allowing me to be a part of your process.
you're welcome. I mean, thank you. Like it was like a sister moment for me. Like I had to share it with my sister because you know I've been rocking with you since the beginning. Like since you was author Zara J. So like now you're like Coach Zara J. I'm like I gotta like go all in with my girl, like this Zara. Like I gotta do it. So like when like going through the program, I was kind of holding back a little and you were able to like just kind of break it down. And then when I finally went through it, it was just like I'm glad I went through this because it helped um catapult me in many different areas of my life, not just with marriage, but in like my business life and my personal life with my family. So it just was a really good course for me to take at that particular time in my life. It was just like everything just kind of really just was set right in place. Just it just fell,
Awesome.
everything just fell right in place. And then the funny thing was that he literally walked through my front door because I
But
remember
we're
we
gonna
went
get
out.
to all that. I don't even, we're gonna get to all that because I do want to like just kind of touch base
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Hmm.
Like what made, now you did say like you've definitely been a part of my journey. I've been a part of your
Hmm.
journey since
Yeah.
I was a writer and an author.
Right.
But what exactly made you decide to reach out for coaching? Because I remember when you first came to me, just like you were in a different emotion, like you're radiating on such a different level right now.
Oh,
But like
mashallah.
your emotional state and where you were when you first decided to reach out to me back in like
Hmm.
December, January,
Hmm.
um, what made you first decide to join coaching and to sign up for that?
Well, you're somebody I trust, and that was really important to me. Like I have another coach. You and her kind of collab on something. Mecca, she's a beautiful person, and I trust her like the same way I trust you. And so in that instance, it was just like, okay, I need to do something. I need a different mindset. I need to change it. I'm ready to change. So who would I trust to help me through that journey? And you were literally the only person that I could think of because I
Oh,
trusted you in that aspect. And because I have been watching your journey and I do see the growth and everything, and I'm super proud of you. I just want to say that like I really enjoyed, and I'm so glad that I've been able to be just a viewer of that whole journey that you've come through. It's been amazing to watch. And
thank
it
you.
was just like it was no brainer. Like Zara, like yes, let's go. Like she's gonna tell you how it is. She's not gonna be a yes ma'am. She's gonna be that sister, that voice that you need in order to push you to the next level. So
I
it was
appreciate
just,
that.
yeah, it was no brainer for me.
Now, there's something I want to touch on
Mm,
because the beginning of your coaching journey, you were
yeah.
called out on a particular issue because we had some bumps in the road with getting
Yes.
started, right? And
Yeah.
so I called out that one of the parallel things, one of the mirror things that you were calling in and attracting was also an issue that you were having within yourself, which was
Commitment.
commitment. I was like,
Yes.
so one of the things that we talked about in coaching was, part of your own personal commitment issues that you weren't really fully seeing within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And how that was also manifesting in the lack of commitment with the type of relationships that you were attracting as well. And so when you got called out for that and like your inconsistency and your lack of commitment in the beginning, and you just really from then on, like you kind of just buckled down and focused, and you worked on your commitment, you worked on vulnerability, you worked on trust, you worked on your communication, and you worked on getting like really clear on what it is that you really want, what those boundaries are, just like getting back dialed into you.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, really helped you to blossom in so many ways. I mean, in a short period of time, you went from like kind of, I'm not sure, lack of commitment to I'm about to put out a book, I'm starting a business. And now just months later, you contact me like, and I'm getting married. Which is amazing. Like that transformation in the like 2020 is your year.
Yeah. Yes, I'm excited. This year has really been a transformational year for me.
Wow.
The pandemic was really like the biggest blessing that I had been asking for multiple years.
Wow.
For multiple years, I had been asking for just a break because I was so burnt out from everything that I was doing. I was always constantly working multiple jobs, tons of hours a week. And I just never really got to be able to experience my life or my children. And so I just really needed a break. And that happened for me. And it was just like, okay, after I slept for like the 4 or 5 weeks, it was like, okay, now you're able to be in a space where your mind can fully function. Your mind can function. You can start really seeing things clearly in your life clearly, and the vision that you have been putting off or sacrificing, you can clearly see it and you can touch it now. So go ahead and touch it and just do it. And once I decided to do it, it just was like, boom. Because what I've learned is once something is put into your heart to do, the creator is not going to allow you to fail at that because he put it there for you. And so he'll put it, it'll come in a form of a person saying the right thing at the right time, or the right opportunity presented itself, or just a whole combination of all of that. And so, I've been able to experience positive people just speaking positive life into me. And I've been able to fully embrace it and put it out to the world. And so that for me was just an incredible experience. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm going to embrace the change, because change was also a thing that I had an issue with. But this change is so good and it's so powerful. It could really help a lot of people, not just my family, but people that, that it may touch, in the world. So I was really excited about that.
Definitely. Everything that I'm hearing is when you got realigned with who you need to be, and you got clear on who you need to be, and you started stepping into that person, other things started falling in place. People around you started falling in place. Opportunities started falling in place. That vision that you have for yourself started falling into place, and it all because you did the work. Like you committed to you. You committed to doing the inner work. There was something that you said that reminded me of what we talked about in coaching when you said like the creator will not let you fail. I know one of the things that we talked about was like that trust, like learning to trust the process and getting into that space of like using your voice, being comfortable with being seen, and being comfortable with asking for what you want and expecting to get it, and we had dialogue about that. So knowing now that like you've really been able to fully embrace that and step into that, and how powerful that has been for you and how transformative that has been for you, that makes me like super, super happy. So one thing that I don't know if I've said this to you since you stopped coaching, but I know one of the things that has been on my mind about you is that I was really happy that you consistently kept doing the work. Like you
Yeah.
didn't go through coaching and then stop, or you didn't meet one or two people and then that didn't work out and then you just stopped. Like you kept the momentum going, whether it was in your personal life, your professional life. And what's so great about this situation is that even though this, like literally, he kind of just fell into your lap and walked into your front door, but that doesn't mean that you weren't taking action. Like you were still
Right.
aligning with who you needed to be, walking in your vision, walking in purpose, and that opportunity still opened up for you. So let's talk about how that transpired.
Yeah. So you know, it's, I want to say it's been like a trend of buying black, but I've kind of been that person anyway. And he owns a black telecommunications company. And so I'm like, well, you know, it literally, it just so happened to see an ad for it. And I'm like, oh, well, why not try out a black telecommunications company for some internet? So it literally stemmed from me just answering an ad and him coming to install the service. And um and he honestly, he didn't even install the service that day, but he didn't leave for at least 4 hours because that's how long we were talking. It
Wow.
was just like an instant connection. And so eventually I did get my service installed, but it just kind of stemmed from there. And it was just like something, it just like the energy just felt different. It was like that instant thing, like, oh, this is way different. Like this is more than just a service. Like this is something here.
Right.
And it was so instant, and it was like you couldn't quite put it into words. Like I still can't really say what it is, but it was just something, and we both felt it, and we've talked about it multiple times, and it was just like, it was so crazy, like how we just instantly just connected like that. And so when I tell people this, when I'm telling the story, it's just like I'm still like in awe of it, because it really just happened. It literally just, that was it. It was it. Like we just both knew like this was it. And we literally have enjoyed the company of each other. And, you and I had talked about, when we talked about my values and stuff like that, and how long it would actually take. And then I was able to see that within the short period of time that I've, been with this man.
Mm-hmm.
It was real mind-boggling to me. Like I had to go back and look at the notes, like, did I really? But it was because he was so transparent. We both were so transparent in that moment, in those moments that we
Was
needed to be.
transparency one of the things that we put down?
Yes. Yes.
That's absolutely amazing. I'm like recalling us working through the exercises together. And I'm like, I think at that time period I was really pushing transparency. Like,
Yes.
what about I remember we had the conversation about that. And wow, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, like
yes.
my heart. My heart. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So let me ask you, how you feel in this experience and what you were able to learn in coaching, like the clarity and just how you need to show up for yourself, like not even just the other person, but like for yourself. How has that benefited you in this courtship process and on your way to marriage with him? Like, what is the difference that you see how you are going about things now versus in the past?
Well, in the past, I wasn't very vocal about exactly what I wanted or how I felt. I was very compromising. Like I was always willing to just compromise this, compromise that, even when it didn't really need like I didn't really need to compromise, that they needed to bring more. And in this instance, it was just like I just stuck to what it is that I knew that I needed, that I deserved, and because I knew what I was bringing to the table. And it wasn't in it like a harsh way, but it was just in every basic things, like
A very
I
authentic
need,
way.
yes, I needed to see emotional. I needed to see stability. Like I needed those things to be exactly in place. I needed that. because that's where I am. I needed to see peace. I needed to see all of those things. And so instead of compromising on, well, maybe if I do this, then this will come. No, I just stuck to what it is that I knew I needed to manifest within my life and keep there. And it all just came back full circle. So I didn't feel like I was compromising on anything. I got,
Absolutely. I am so happy for you. I'm just
thank
so
you.
happy. I'm
Thank
so
you
like,
so
I'm
much.
like super cheerleader. Hopefully,
Yes,
inshallah, I'll be able to attend the wedding
inshallah.
because I know like how much work you have done. I know how much
Yes.
like your level up has been this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just watching you over just the last
Mm.
couple of years, but like
Thank you.
something snapped in place this year for you.
Yes.
And I'm so happy. Definitely a cheerleader for you. And
Oh,
I
thank
just had
you.
a conversation and I mentioned you to
Mm.
someone recently. I said, I really want her. This was literally like a week or two ago.
Oh,
I said, I said, she's just such a sweetheart. Like, I just think she's just a
oh,
sweetheart. And I
mashallah.
really want her to get married. I really want her to meet someone. So I
Oh,
think she's super sweet. And so to get
thank
this
you.
email from you about a week or so later, that just like lit me up inside. So
Oh,
I am
alhamdulillah.
I'm
Oh,
so happy, so excited for you. Definitely for you doing the work, doing the inner work. That I
yes.
know that's like that, like you said, it can transform other areas of your life. And I try to
Mm-hmm.
emphasize that with coaching, let people know that when you do that inner work, you work on those emotional wounds, you get clear on who you are, like your authentic self, and how to step into that power, how to set those boundaries, how to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
in a different way, in a way that feels right.
Mm-hmm.
When you step into that and you do the work and you go through the coaching and the exercises and you really work on you being better, like forget about the other person, forget about the man
Yes.
that you desire and the marriage. Focus on you. When you do that for yourself, new
Mm-hmm.
things just start transforming, and like you said, your career and your family relationships, like
Yeah.
other areas, you see the benefit. Now you did touch on career, but like how have you seen the growth and how it's helped you with your family as well?
Just seeing the different, like it's been an attitude shift in my children, because
Mm,
they see me more and I'm not as tired. And when they see me, I'm working, but they see me working on something that I want to bring to fruition. So it changes the conversation and the vocabulary that's being used in the house and things like that. So it's been a more positive impact on that. And just the whole being able to just be around them for me has been uplifting. But for my family, like my children, is just, they're like happier. And I love that. I'm not dragging and just tired from working somebody else's vision. I'm tired. If I am tired, I'm tired because I'm working the vision for us, and they know that. So they're more accommodating in certain areas. My oldest, she'll make food, and my youngest, she's like, oh, she'll let me sleep in just a little bit longer. So it's like little stuff, but it's big things in the grand scheme of things, because before those things weren't happening. And
and that was one of your concerns, when we first started
hmm
working together. You felt a lot of mom guilt, and that's
I did.
important to point out because so many women that I work with, what they do feel that mom guilt,
hmm
that either they are taking time away from their children, or they're not able to show up, or there's different types of mom guilt that they're experiencing. So
hmm
you having a different energy, having a different outlook on yourself, and being able to shift the energy in your relationships
hmm
is super powerful. And I know that has an impact because it's trickling down. It
Yes.
has a ripple effect.
hmm hmm So I'm just super excited about everything. Just and I'm not even going to say that it was easy, because that growth is something else. Like it's something else. But once you get there, you're like, okay, like you feel a sense of achievement, like for yourself. And that's always the biggest thing. You want to feel like you were able to achieve, even if it wasn't for nobody else, but you achieved it for yourself. And that's the greatest feeling that you can have, that you stepped up for you. You showed up for yourself. And that's amazing. And it might seem like I read a meme or something on Instagram. I think it was like a couple of days ago, and it said something like, it just seems like you're growing. You're going through, or you're healing from past trauma, to grow in order to experience more pain, but it's like, or painful growth. I could be saying something wrong, but it was so powerful. Like the way that it was written, it was just like, okay, yes, you're coming in, new experiences is going to bring a different type of
pain,
but but you'll have the experience in order to be able to handle that pain differently, and you'll know how to come through it. So that for me was just like, wow, like that really rang true to me. So like this whole transformation in me, like, yes, it was painful, but it allowed me to step up and show up and be prepared for whatever's to come, because now I feel ready.
And you have more tools in your toolbox on how to handle things.
Yes.
Absolutely. So one more thing that I wanted to point out, just because I know that for those who will listen and they'll hear this, a lot of times people have a lot of limiting beliefs, and we work through that and the mindset shifts and how to view things differently and shift your perspective. But one of the things I want to point out for those who are listening is that she is a mother. She has children, on opposite ends of the spectrum. She has one in college, one that's like elementary, right? She's been married before. And I'm only saying this because you will have people who will have all these as blocks as to why they can't get married, or why they can't find a partner, or why things have to be so difficult, or why they can't fulfill their dreams, or just all these reasons why. And a lot of these things are some of the blocks that people have. So I just wanted to point that out, that, and even you had some of those blocks.
I did. And now I'm just like, okay, I got a kid, so okay, yep, and yep, okay, so what? Like, no, if anything, those are the things you need to help fuel your vision to push you to the next level. Like, okay, those need to be your why. Those things need to come together and be your why. Why do you need this business idea to work? Because you're tired of going and working 80 hours a week. Why do you need to be home more? Because you're tired of your children seeing you down and unfulfilled.
Why you need a certain type of relationship to support the whole system.
Exactly.
Right, and being really authentic and unapologetic about it. So I just want to thank you so much, for doing this call. Do you have any advice or anything for anyone that'll listen to this about, like, if they're kind of not sure if coaching is a good decision for them or something that they should do? Do you have any advice for them?
Do it. Do it. It will be the best, and embrace the experience. It's scary to talk to people about your business, but do it, because you do need to talk to somebody, and how your intentions start off will be exactly what you get out. So if your intention is to change and become the best version of you, that's exactly what you'll get. But if you come into it with limiting mindsets and not, you're really not embracing the experience the way that you need to, because you're still scared to grow, then that's what you'll feel like you're getting. So come in the way that you want to come out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's one more thing I do want to say to you. You gave me such an amazing compliment at the end of your email. And it's something that I take super personally, that's really important to me. So the fact that you spoke this back into me, I just really appreciate it. And what you said was that you were able to have a space to express yourself without judgment.
Yes.
And that really did something for you to feel supported in that way. That means everything to me, because one thing that I try to cultivate with any of my clients or anyone that's in coaching is that they feel like they have a judgment-free space to just express themselves and to feel supported. And that's something that like is a core value of mine when it comes to my business and it comes to coaching, and just how I want to be able to show up in all of my relationships as well. So I appreciate you for expressing that and for sharing that with me, that I was able to be that for you.
Yes, you're welcome. I mean, it really is a safe space. You really do make the women that you coach feel secure. At least that's what it was for me. I felt safe. I felt secure enough to be vulnerable enough in order for me to get to the healing part the way that I needed to heal and to grow. So that is what people need. They just need safe spaces, and you create that. So thank you for offering that, because it's, especially to Black women, because we always feel like no one is there. Society has made us feel like, we don't have a space. We have to deal with things on our own, but we really have a community, and we just have to be able to reach out. And so thank you for creating that community in order for us to be able to reach out.
My heart. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so